here we go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name is Samrak.
I'm Ed.
And I'm Zara.
Today, Ed has his WrestleMania shirt on. The latest one, right?
Yeah, WrestleMania 39.
39. Where we saw, Logan Paul was on there, right?
Logan Paul was on there.
Oh.
He was great. It was actually pretty great.
I saw highlights of it. It was in SoFi Stadium, yeah? Inglewood, California?
Yep.
Who's your favorite wrestler?
John Cena.
Of course. We talked about this before.
John
We even
Cena.
watched a trailer with John Cena and Jackie Chan, Hidden Strike. So now we brought Ed back in to do the top 10 John Cena Savage moments or Savage promos.
Yes.
So if you're new to the channel, we've done other like Savage moments before from Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, you know. We have not touched on John Cena yet till now.
Yes, I've been waiting. I do like John Cena too. He's pretty cool. Yeah.
He's amazing.
So I know of John Cena. I didn't watch his wrestling days, but I know him as the actor. I mean, I know that he raps. I know that was it Thugonomics? You know, I've seen promo clips here and there. You know, but I wasn't like watching wrestling during the time of his run.
Right.
Yeah, but he's still wrestling. Yeah.
No, he's actually retired. He's kind of retired. This past wrestling match was probably his last.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he came back with a bang, basically.
Something like that. He came back to wrestle, but he said in an interview that he's getting to the age where he feels he shouldn't be coming back as often because if he comes back and he's not his best, he's putting out a bad product.
Yeah.
He wants people to be there, you know, like you said, bang for their buck, right?
Yeah.
So this time he was like, man, this past WrestleMania, I just felt like I wasn't really there, so I might not wrestle as much no more. Make more movies. So I'm like, all right, cool, respect.
Okay. Yeah.
He did everything already, so it was good.
Yeah, and he's even with Jackie Chan coming up. Yeah.
Jackie Chan.
And I believe he's in the current. We haven't seen it yet, but the current Fast X. But we know that he was in Fast 9 because we watched this for the channel. Yeah, so again, this is John Cena's top 10 most savage promos.
Yes, I love it. I like his music too. His
Oh, I know that beat.
the way he's like runs, and he's like, his name is John Cena, and then you can't see me. Yeah.
All right, are we ready?
Ready.
Yeah. So if you do like our reaction, please like, comment, subscribe, also hit the notification bell. All right, and here we go.
Whether you love him or you hate him, there is no denying that John Cena can cut one hell of a promo.
Your face looks like my nuts. Except you got a hairier bush.
From his early days as a wannabe Eminem, tying his opponents in verbal knots.
You need to hit them sit-ups too. Not exactly the leanest. Forget
What?
seeing me, bro. You can't see your own penis.
Cena has stood out above most others as a truly great talker. Now, while he can oftentimes come across as goofy, especially during the PG era,
Bologna, fudge, and mustard.
What?
My life is being ruined by the internet.
when he turns it on,
So
there are
there was
few
a
that can
point
touch him
in,
on the
in
mic. He's proved in
wrestling is
recent
a
years
PG
that he
era
doesn't
where
need
it's
to
only
go
for the
back
kids,
to
so they really couldn't say bad
He
words
doesn't
back like
need
how
a
Stone
silly
Cold when
rap.
he would flick
He
people
just
off.
needs
Oh,
to be
okay.
himself.
So bologna, fudge,
So
and
here I
mustard.
break down 10
That's the
times
best he
John
could have
Cena
done.
spit some truths on the stick and completely owned the superstar he was in the ring with. Number 10, Daniel Bryan. During the build-up to their SummerSlam 2013 match, in a promo on Miz TV, Bryan cut one of his best promos to date. But as good as Bryan was, Cena really made a statement and delivered big time in the promo. Cena listed his hit list, which included the likes of Triple H, The Rock, and Shawn Michaels. But when
beat all
Bryan
of them.
tells Cena to wait because he's talking about his victims like they're so much better than him, someone from the crowd shouts, "They are brutal."
They are so much better than me.
Cena slapped the taste out of Bryan's mouth. They did a great job in building this feud at the time as the best wrestler in the world against the best entertainer. And the crowd ate it up because it was steeped in reality. Number 9, Dean Ambrose. In the build-up to the triple threat match between Ambrose, Cena and Styles at No Mercy, Cena and Ambrose had a heated exchange on SmackDown. Cena claimed that he wasn't surprised when Austin called Dean out on his podcast.
Stone Cold was right when he called you out on his podcast.
The podcast Cena was referring to was where Austin questioned Ambrose's work ethic, believing he was complacent and asked him to raise his game, which Ambrose claimed to be offended by. Cena went on to tell Ambrose that he hadn't stepped up, and he also told him that he has no balls.
Got no balls. Brah.
Brah.
Doesn't care about Dean Ambrose.
matches. Document the Shield.
I don't even know who
2
Dean Ambrose is.
bona fide WWE superstars. One guy still trying to figure it out. Dean Ambrose.
Number 8, Bray Wyatt. In the build-up to their WrestleMania 36 match,
I don't know
Cena
any of
talked
these
about how for
wrestlers.
years he gets blamed for
The
beating
new
other
era, the new
people and
generation.
somehow
Everyone's
ruined their
getting old.
career. Cena said that Wyatt got lazy, gave up, and blamed him, while adding that Bray's biggest enemy is himself. He recounted his losses and other setbacks and said that he isn't referred to as buried because he accepts responsibility. He went off on way too many WWE superstars, implying Wyatt, who get lazy and blame everyone else.
They get lazy and they blame everybody else but themselves.
He went on to label Wyatt as the most overhyped, overvalued, and overprivileged superstar in WWE history.
The most overhyped,
Always say this.
overvalued, overprivileged WWE superstar.
Oh, this during COVID and nobody's in the.
As well as being
Nobody's
someone
in
who
there.
doesn't
Obviously,
deserve an
COVID.
opportunity more than certain
So it's
NXT
basically,
stars.
there's a lot of wrestlers that come in
Earth
and they feel
do we
like they're
continue to
super
give
huge
50
already
and
without
6
putting a lot of
chances
work
to
ethic.
people? All they do is
And
say, "What about
majority
me?"
of the
and
time
not,
they
"How
blame
can I
people
help
like
you?"
John
He
Cena's
also had a
like,
backstage
everything's
interview
given
which
to
was
you. You get all the
subsequently
titles,
deleted by
you get
WWE,
everything.
where he
Everything's
said,
given
Also
to you
know
while
that the
I'm
theme
over
with
here
Bray
struggling.
Wyatt
And he
is
usually claps
Husky
back like,
Harris
you're just
is the guy
lazy.
in the
You don't want to
mask.
put in
I'm
work.
Sick of hearing
You're
a
new.
certain
You don't do this.
group of WWE superstars walk around and say, "I deserve this," or "I deserve that.
Cena didn't hold back with Wyatt in this feud. It's a good thing Wyatt eventually ended up
That's
the victor.
Wyatt right there?
Not that they've
Yeah,
done
Bray
too much with him
Wyatt. Like, he has
since then,
some
mind
different
you.
persona, like
Number
Mick Foley,
7,
when he was
Randy
Cactus
Orton.
Jack.
During their feud in 2013
I know
for
Randy
the
Orton.
undisputed world title belts, Cena went off on Orton on an episode of Raw, dissecting him personally and professionally.
A guy like you has been given every single thing in the WWE.
Oh,
He
because
said
he's
that
next
when Orton
generation
actually got
wrestler.
into the
that's fine.
WWE, he was
Cowboy
sheltered
Bob
by the
Orton
best in the
was his
business.
father, and
All
he
he
was a
does is
legend
hide
within,
behind Triple
you know,
H
his
and
respective
Stephanie.
right, and he's like
He said
his
that
son.
Orton has always blamed others and pointed fingers, referring to his real-life behavior problems inside and outside the ring.
And you got the balls to stand in this ring and say you're better than anybody here?
Cena's promo was excellent. He set up the match perfectly, as Orton needing to prove himself despite everything he's already accomplished.
If you hold on to this, you can finally say, "Hey guys, look, I'm finally what I was supposed to be 10 years ago."
Number 6, Dolph Ziggler. After AJ Lee turned on John at TLC 2012 in favor of Dolph, Cena had some choice words for Ziggler on Raw during their New Year's
I know who Ziggler
celebration.
is.
Cena was great on the
Dude with
mic,
the white
breaking
hair.
through the fourth wall, making references to how Ziggler has yet to break through WWE's proverbial glass ceiling. He mentioned that Dolph has been in the WWE for 7 years, and he's not stopped complaining to management about his lack of a push.
This is not your first year here, Dolph. It is your 7th.
Cena then gives a quick rundown of Ziggler's career thus far.
The Dolph Ziggler story goes like this. First you were a caddy, then you were a cheerleader, then you had blonde hair, then you had brown hair, now you have blonde hair, then you had a large girlfriend, now you got a small girlfriend, now you got a large man, and you walk around with a suitcase that has a contract and a bunch of Valtrex.
Cena didn't mince his words when he made it clear to Dolph that he needs to look deep in the mirror to find out what kind of man he is.
Only way a guy like you gets a set of nuts is by buying them at the concession stand.
Cena finished the promo off by giving a mock toast to Dolph and AJ and praises them for what they're full of.
Whoa.
Number 5, AJ Styles. John Cena facing off with AJ Styles is something that nobody ever expected to see, but when it happened, the two men created magic. In the ring, their matches were incredible, but they also had many amazing promos to build it up. He spoke openly about the fact that if he beat AJ, he would have buried him, and that's all anyone would say.
It's my fault, right? Because I buried you.
Cena credited Styles for being hot for like 6 months, while Cena claimed that he had held this place down for a decade. Styles is just like everyone else, hating on him, but trying his best to be him.
Mr. Face that runs the place.
Cena delivered an excellent promo here, and although Styles made a lot of great points, Cena fired back and put him in his place. Number 4, CM Punk. Cena
Yeah,
and Punk's
I'm familiar with
feud was
CM Punk.
amazing, but it was in a promo before Night of Champions 2012 that Cena really let Punk have it. Cena said that Punk had held the belt for 300 days, and for 300 days the belt had been irrelevant.
For 300 days, you have been WWE champion. For 300 days, that championship has been irrelevant.
He didn't even main event a pay-per-view in
That
9
Bret Hart?
months.
And the
Yeah.
night you made the
Holy.
most noise was ironically the night your microphone was turned silent.
Cena says that Punk promised change, but it wasn't anything that he said he wanted at the time. The only change was that Punk became a star. He also claimed that Punk has no idea who he is because Punk steals colors from Hall of Famers and stole the elbow from the late Randy Savage. Cena finished off by pandering to the crowd and saying he was going to kick Punk's ass at Night of Champions in French, which resulted in a massive pop from the Montreal crowd.
Which means I'm just gonna kick your ass.
Number 3, The Rock. The Rock and John Cena had an epic feud that spanned over 2 years, where to a lot of fans' surprise, it was actually John Cena who seemed to come out the best during these exchanges. Many people credit this to Cena's return to Thugonomics, where he spit some home truths on The Rock.
You imitate me every time you leave. For 7 years, we couldn't see you.
But it was never more clear during a 2-minute promo back in February 2012. John Cena stole the show in the closing segment. It was all about The Rock, and then Cena spun it around. Cena did more with his 2 minutes than The Rock had done in the 20 minutes before.
I didn't come out here to swing for the people's strudel or whatever you're calling your penis nowadays.
Cena said that he is the guy that talks Rock down because Rock's not there. However, Rock is only half right because Cena will run Rock down when he is there too. Cena also mentioned that he used to love Rock until he met Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson is a self-centered, egotistical, see-through son of a bitch.
He then mentioned that he doesn't need words trending on Twitter or his promo printed on his wrist.
Just like I don't need my notes for my promo on my wrist.
No! No.
It wasn't something anybody expected to see, as Cena crossed a huge line and pointed out a major flaw with what The Rock had been doing, burying him in front of the fans. The crowd even began to cheer Cena when he dropped the mic after telling Rock to keep trending.
Continue trending.
Number 2, The Miz. Now, The Miz and Cena have feuded a number of times, but their rivalry in 2017 became truly personal and led to some of John Cena's greatest mic work. During this time, their in-ring promo segments began to blur the lines between kayfabe and reality, with a 16-time champ laying down some harsh truths to The Miz and his wife. In the first of the 2 savage promos on Miz TV in Feb 2017, Miz chewed out Cena live on air. He called him out, labeling him a hypocrite. Cena ranted about how The Rock was a part-timer going off to Hollywood, and now Cena is treading the same path. Cena then responded by calling Miz a dude named Mike who shortened his last name to be like The Rock.
You're a dude named Mike who shortened his last name on the real world, tried to bootleg The Rock's electricity to get put on a WWE. When you got here, you straight up stole Chris Jericho's personality. You stole Ric Flair's figure 4 leg lock. You stole Daniel Bryan's offense and his personality.
This was then followed up a month later, where he took shots at the Miz's movies, claiming nobody had seen them and they were just bootleg versions of films that he had already made.
He made the Marine right after John Cena.
Cena then turned to Maurice and pointed out that the WWE didn't want her back.
They didn't ask you back because they didn't want you back. Because when you were here before, you didn't do jack.
Cena called Maurice a waste of space and told her that she's only back because Miz begged WWE so he can be on Total Divas.
He's using you to be on Total Divas.
He also made fun of the Miz and Maurice for not having kids, joking,
"What, you firing blanks there, sport?"
Cena even dropped a few non-PG words, providing the fire that the build-up to this match needed by saying, "You're not the it couple.
You're the it couple."
That was one of the best promos from Cena because it was a mix of making things very personal, doing some comedy in there, and just ripping on a dude for being inferior to him. And the crowd was loving every bit of it. Definitely worth a watch. Number 1, Roman Reigns. In the lead up to their match at No Mercy 2017, Cena legit murdered Roman Reigns on the mic. During their contract signing, Cena made his thoughts on Reigns very clear, claiming that all he sees in him is a bootleg version of himself.
A cheap-ass, corporately created John Cena bootleg.
Cena continued by saying, "This jump right here, he ain't the guy. Dude, you're just a guy."
A guy trying so desperately to fill shoes that you never will.
He made it fit, but also made it very clear to anyone who knows anything about wrestling what was going on. WWE had been trying to make Reigns for years and it wasn't working like they'd hoped. Reigns set about explaining to Cena why the fans booed him after so many years of hustle, loyalty and respect. But then he forgot his lines.
Call the promo, kid, and if you want to be the big dog, you're going to have to learn how to do it.
Eventually, Reigns did get out what he wanted to say. That's when Cena really turned it on.
Congratulations. It took you 5 years to get a halfway decent promo, but now I'm about to shrink you down to size.
He called Reigns a damn fool and referred to an old saying that it's better to keep your mouth shut and have people think you're stupid than to open it and prove them right. Absolutely savage. Also, the "I'm still here because you can't do your job" line was so cutting. Cena verbally undressed Reigns in an almost unprecedented fashion. And that brings us to the end of this video. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And let me know what your favorite Cena promo was. Also, if you like this video, be sure to check out our video depicting the opposing side, where other wrestlers actually mock John Cena in a promo. Hope you have a great day.
Like I said, John Cena is just amazing on the microphone. There's the promos, right? One goes and he says, the reason why I'm gonna beat you, the reason why we're fighting. It just, you just gotta make yourself look good. Yeah. But when John Cena steps on the mic, he's like, all right, let's see what you got. And then when he goes, he just completely destroys anyone that's there.
Because he's good at rebuttaling, basically.
Just like The Rock. But when when he was against The Rock, like I said, he really pissed him off. 'Cause he did right stuff.
I didn't even know.
Wait, The Rock wrote it on his...
And backstage they call it gorilla. They call it gorilla. When you go backstage after you finish your stuff, you go backstage. They call it gorilla. And before John Cena came out, because The Rock came out first, and he was like saying, "The people, I'm The Rock, I'm great," blah blah blah. Before John Cena came out, they were looking at the cameras, the monitors, right? And they saw writing on his hand, and that's a big no-no in the company. And so John Cena's like,
you're supposed to know your lines.
Yeah, you're supposed to know your lines. And he looked at someone. He says, "Do you see that?" He's like, "Yeah, I see that." Wow. And he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go. That's my material." He goes there, and when he said that, The Rock, if you see the whole segment, The Rock starts stuttering. He's losing himself. You can see his frustration. Like, he pops a nerve. It's like.
But it's like when he left for 7 years and came back, right? Is that during that time?
Yeah. So, but he's this persona's supposed to be, he's the greatest talker of all time. Yeah. He's this electrifying man. No one can top The Rock when he's on the microphone, right? But then John Cena's like, you got word. Like, you were trying to remember your promo because you can't remember. Like, you're The Rock. Oh, wow. And that's why The Rock is like, what the you're killing this illusion. The word kayfabe basically means when they're acting this person. Like, then The Undertaker, he's not really a dead man. He's a person playing a dead man, right? That's kayfabe. So... during the Miz segment, it was saying blurring between the lines between kayfabe and reality. So that's why he was mixing his real life. Like, you were in the real world as a reality star, and you just wanted to be a wrestler, and now you're this wannabe wrestler, and you still suck. And then kayfabe is like, oh, John Cena is this guy, The Rock, the most electrifying man, The Undertaker, the dead man, Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, Triple H, the game. These are personas, kayfabe. So when you start hearing these words, that's basically what they're trying to describe in the wrestling world. So it was, like I said, no one can top.
He's a savage.
He's a savage.
I
no one
didn't
can top him.
Yeah, I've only seen a couple. Like, mostly just him being like, you can't see me. But he's good.
I see him like busting raps and stuff.
You should see his whole segments. They're fantastic.
He's very smart,
So that number one clip that they have right there with Roman Reigns, when they said, oh, WWE tried to make like 5 years, right?
Yeah, so what they tried to do is they tried to make him like Stone Cold, like Hulk
the main,
Hogan,
like face of the franchise, right, basically.
They wanted to make the fans like him, but because he was the Vince McMahon, the owner of the company, was stuffing this character in our faces so much, the fan base rejected him. And for 5 years, they tried to push him as the top guy, this next John Cena type of person, right?
Because Cena was on his way out, basically.
Yeah, because John Cena for 10 years held the company down. Now, who's the next person that's going to hold it down? Roman Reigns. But people were rejecting it because, like, we don't want him. We want this other person, Daniel Bryan. We want this other person, like these other individuals, CM Punk. We want them. We don't want Roman Reigns. He sucks. So, usually in the company, they give him scripts to remember, and that's why the promos, right, overall.
Yeah, that's why he forgot.
And when he forgot what he was going to say, he's like, the reason why people boo you, and John Cena's like, go ahead, figure it out. I'm going to give you a minute. He's like, so it took you like 5 years to get a half-decent promo, but I'm going to shrink you down to size. And then he rips him apart. Like I said, you have to see his full segments when it comes to these back and forths, because he's just amazing. Video, it tells you why he's great, but it doesn't do it justice.
You gotta see the whole promo. Because there was narration on this video, of course, But
I liked it.
I enjoyed this. Some insight, not only with just the video, but with you explaining like the insight. Like I knew of I knew of The Rock, Triple H, and everybody, but then John Cena came in. That's when like the time where I kind of faded out of wrestling. So going out more, I guess, during my going out days. So John Cena, I just know him as like John Cena, more of the actor that is a wrestler. You know, like I've seen him like Blockers.
Yeah.
I know he's a Peacemaker.
Yes.
Right, there was a few other Fast 9. Last we saw Furious. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was a fun video to watch. And the explanation at the end here also.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
Little knowledge there.
the jargon.
Drops, yeah,
The
different
the
jargon.
word-
I don't even know these
Language.
jargon. Yeah.
WWE language.
WWE language. So that was the top 10 John Cena's most savage promos. So if you do like our reaction, please like, comment, subscribe. Also hit the notification bell, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Love you. Bye.
Chee-hoo.